The idea of a five-star government is terrifying, not just to the establishment in Rome, but also in Brussels. Should they be terrifying?
I think I'm very in touch with the Brussels people because I'm also in the Council of Europe, a member of the Italian delegation in the Council of Europe, and I'm very in touch with my colleagues of the Five Star Movement in the European Parliament. Everybody that had the chance to work with our 17 guys in the European Parliament know that we are very responsible people, we are very skilled people, and we don't want to destroy anything. But they know that we are very upset with the leaders of the EU that had taken this dream of the EU made of welfare and transformed it in the EU made of financial institutions and banking system. And this is something that you can realize at the national level. In the last 3 years, we approved in this parliament, thanks to Letta and Renzi, 8 decree law to save the banking institution with public money. They did this while in Italy we have 63% of youth unemployment. And if you are 63% in the south of Italy, and 43 is the national average. Can you imagine that? And if you are an entrepreneur in Italy, you have to be a hero, because since the very beginning, you don't find any bank loaning you money, and you have to pay taxes in advance. So in this system, they just took the worst of what Europe was asking to us. And the failure is the failure of the leaders. I repeat every time, we are not saying that the failure is the European idea. The failures are the leaders that have run the Europe like this. Bringing all the power to the financial institution, as I said before, and never caring about people. So we don't want to compromise the EU stability. We want to bring people back to the center of the political agenda. And look at the last European election in 2014. We had just 200 million people going to vote, out of 500 million. It means that nobody feels to be European. We have to bring this idea back, and we are very sure the fact that this is due mostly to the Eurozone.
Well, but that's exactly what people are worried about. They're worried that the five-star movement has ambivalent feelings about the Eurozone, about the euro currency. In fact, Battista just the other day echoed that sentiment that the five-star movement would like to give Italians a referendum on the Eurozone currency. You must know the signal that sends to Brussels and to investors all around the world. Whether or not people actually vote to leave the euro currency, just saying something like that has some serious repercussions, doesn't it?
It does, yes. But, the big mistake that was done by Mr. Prodi in 2001 was to bring Italy into the Eurozone without asking people. When we entered the EU, they did a referendum. They didn't for the Eurozone. And since the 2001 to now, the Italian trends about economy were down every year. This is not just the fault of the Eurozone, it's also made of our politicians' mistakes, that's for sure. But this level of discussion went into the people's minds. So if you ask the Italian people, the euro currency was a mistake. So being as the next government, I will never take the responsibility to decide about it without asking them. That's the reason of the referendum. We want to say, okay, we will be the next government, but we want to be responsible for your decisions. So maybe they will say we want to stay in the Eurozone. Okay, we go forward with that. We will never say they said stay and we leave. Never. But if they say that we have to leave, we will do our best to leave. That's sure.
I want to talk briefly about immigration. And this is also an area where I feel people don't understand necessarily the platform of the five-star movement. I heard Virginia Raggi recently comment on the idea of constructing housing for migrants and refugees here in Rome. She said that if they were to do that here, it would basically make the problem worse by attracting more migrants and refugees here. What's the platform on migrants and refugees for the five-star movement?
I understand it. It was not easy for people to understand our proposals. And actually, I was I was the guy presenting our immigration strategy in 2014. And it's not that easy because it's not like Lega Nord just shoot the boats, and it's not like the left wingers take everybody down. We presented a strategy, meaning that first of all, it looks like impossible, but we should start reconsidering our European Union and also the United States one actions in the Middle East. I mean, maybe if we stop bombing them, we would reduce the migrants' impact. And this is something, more general. Going into the problem. First of all, if we are a European Union, we should act as a union. It means that they should agree on quotas, meaning that thanks to the Dublin agreement, we had to take care of everyone that came into our coastal areas, and it is not feasible. I mean, every week we are taking 6,000 migrants. It's not feasible to approach it. So we said, since the day that the migrants come to our land, we had to divide them and divide into the 28, 27 without the Brits countries with perfect quotas to take care of them. Then we need what the so-called wide welcome, meaning that every small towns has to take few of them. We thought about a quota of one migrant every 1,000 people. In this way, you won't even look at the problem. You won't even recognize them. Instead, the interior minister that we have in this last year, they did these big camps. We have a small city in Sicily called Mineo. The city is made of 4,000 citizens. There is a camp with 5,000 migrants. Do you think that those 4,000 people are happy about it? I mean, you have to consider the impact that they have. I mean, we are able to take care of the migrants, and we don't want to say go back. We recognize the value of the welcome the refugees. I mean, they flew away from wars. I mean, we have to take care of them. But there is a smart way to do it. And you know what? The problem was made of the so-called mafia capitale. It was considered by the judges in 2014 the fifth mafia made in Italy. It was mostly based on the business made out of the migration system. How does it work? Political system, mafia system, and business system. If politics, they say, okay, we can have 5,000 people in just one camp. You just need a business guy able to bring mafia into the center. And if they take 30 euros per migrant per day, they will make them stay forever. Because it's like the hotel system. You need to have clients in your hotel, and that's what it is.